As Officer Pulsipher's co-workers and loved ones focus on honoring his memory and dedication to his badge, his death once again sparks the conversation about another big issue in the Valley, and that is wrong-way drivers.
And Fox 5's Victoria Saha spoke to a retired Metro sergeant who works closely with Officer Pulsipher and talked about just how bad the problem of wrong-way driving is in our Valley.
Retired Sergeant Ryan Anderson wasn't just Officer Pulsipher's boss in the traffic bureau, but also a close family friend. He knows firsthand what drivers in the Las Vegas Valley are capable of, and what makes Officer Pulsipher's death even more heartbreaking is that it could have been prevented.
We see wrong-way drivers a lot. How often was this an issue when you were a sergeant with the traffic bureau?
So I'm actually glad you're asking this question, because maybe we can make this a somewhat of a public service announcement, right? I mean, traffic collisions, especially with how easy vehicles are to drive now, they almost do it themselves, are almost always avoidable. There's very few traffic collisions in Southern Nevada or anywhere in the United States that are not avoidable. It's either distraction or impairment or driving when you're exhausted, something. There's something that you can do or choose not to do that could avoid every one of these collisions. I think people get the attitude that it'll never happen to me and I'm bulletproof and I can do it. Somebody else might not be able to, but I can handle this. We just need to change that attitude. We need to take it more personally and realize that it's not fair. It's selfish. Make arrangements. We have rideshare programs. Everybody has cell phones. There's no reason in cases of impairment not to prepare yourselves. And take action beforehand so that we don't have tragedies like this. A loss of a life during the Christmas season, a 29-year-old young man with a family, 3 kids and a wife, all avoidable.
We had a pretty lengthy conversation, and one of the things that also stuck out is that he said officers working in the traffic bureau see a lot of fatal and violent crashes, and it ends up taking a toll on their mental health. But in this instance, a crash ended up taking the life of one of their own. We reached out to the Nevada Department of Transportation, and they did say they are working on adding 12 wrong-way warning signs throughout the valley. Kim?
Thank you, Victoria. And the Behind the Blue fundraising campaign is collecting donations for the officer's wife and children. It's a nonprofit that supports law enforcement and their families in times of tragedy. We have a link to that on our website, fox5vegas.com.
And we have more local reactions and more ways you can help Officer Pulsipher's family, and all the coverage on the deadly crash up on our website, fox5vegas.com.